Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be breaking down basically how to play Control perfectly. So we're going to be going over three things here. Number one, we're going to go over the ideal setups for Control. Number two, we're going to be going over spawn knowledge, knowing where your enemy is spawning, how to control spawns, where to block spawns, and last but not least, we're going to go over what not to do. So let's jump straight into this video. Actually, let's just start off with Hacienda Control. All right, we're going to go over ideal setups for offense and defensive side. So right here, let's just start with defense here. So if you are defense, your main goal is to stop blue from getting the point, of course, but I'm going to break it down more simpler for you guys. Okay, so you see this is blue spawn right here. When they spawn back here, there's only three lanes they can go to. They can go either Lambo, they can go towards Arch, or they can go inside here, Zebra. But inside Zebra, you could go top or bottom. But when you come off spawns, there's only three lanes you can hit. So to break it down for you guys, let's say red gets 4 dead, right? They get all 4 dead. What you're going to want to do is make sure you have all three of these places covered, all three of these angles, to make sure blue doesn't push up and get out of their spawn and get to these points. So if you do get 4 dead, you're going to want to be like red here, push up and hold every single one of these angles. So let's say we have one top Zebra, one bottom secret, one Lambo, one Arch. This is probably the ideal setup right here. Maybe you could push up here a little bit at well, outside fence, something like that. But this right here, if you have this set up, this makes sure the blue cannot get out of spawn at all, unless they're all hitting one lane and breaking that area to push through to point, if that makes sense, guys. So honestly, just breaking it down more simpler for you guys, basically there's only three places that you need to watch for blue team to come out of spawn if you have them in a spawn trap like so. So this is for if you're defense, but if you're offense, obviously you're going to want to cap the points. Try not to over chow and spawn trap too much, because you do want to capture these points here, and you don't want to miss up by not capturing it and just playing for kills. So let's say blue team already has B, right? So now it's just A. So we're going to put some blue people here. We're going to position them like so. Just put them wherever. All right, so now we have one person on A, one top watching top and stuff, one rock, and then you got one top connector watching for the push over here. This is probably the ideal setup to make sure nobody pushes from any sides. But if you're like this, if you have this set up, red team are always going to spawn back here. They're always going to have this spawn right here. Unless you push up too far, they're always going to spawn here. So this is the ideal setup for offense right here. They're going to flood in over here to your left. They're going to go through these two doors to wine. They're going to go rock right here, and then they're also going to go bottom to wine, or top the staircase to office through top. Usually they won't wrap all the way around here. Sometimes they will. That's why you have a little guy over here watching and stuff. But also, let's say blue gets 4 dead, and then boom, you have 3 stacking the point. You can have 4 push up on this head glitch and just hold this opening over here, these 2 openings, but they can also come over here. So he's got to shoulder this, check it every once in a while. But they will always spawn back here on Hacienda Control. Unless you push up too far into their spawn, they will not spawn there, but they will always spawn there unless you push up. So for example, like I said, if you get 4 dead, you're going to want to stack the point, have 1 off watching crosses, trying to stop the enemy from getting to you. So let's go over to protocol control now, and I'll do some explaining on this. Ideal setups for each team, offense and defense. So let's say we're going to start on offense here. We're going to be blue. Protocol is a spawn trappy map, guys. Very spawn trappy. Very simple in terms of where they are spawning. If you can get this down, it's pretty easy, pretty simple. So of course, blue team's going to want to cap. Red team's going to try to stop blue from capping. So let's say let's say blue team, they get 4 dead in spawn, right? They get 4 red people dead. So let's say we have two on point, 1 top trips, and we have 1 like bottom grannies just being a nuisance, right? So always we need 1 trips. When you're capturing A, you're going to want at least 1 person trips watching for this flank. They will always go trips every game, every round. They will go trips, I promise you. But also you're going to want 2 people on point, 1 watching your sidewalk and flank, and then 1 watching your front grannies push out, and maybe granny sidewalk. Trips does have your top mid, and this guy here will be helping as well. When the red team is coming off a spawn, he could pick up top mid if he needs to help, or he could pick up sidewalk if he needs to help. He'll just pick up whatever he needs to do to help. But basically that's the ideal setup for A. If you are blue, let's say we're capturing B now. We already got A. Of course, you got to know by now what side you are on. The enemy will be coming from the opposite, basically. So we're going to be going over more in depth of that in a little bit. All right, let's say this is the setup that blue has right here. We got 1 trips, 2 on point, 1 pushing out lighthouse. Pushing out lighthouse will make them spawn farther away from the B point, pushing them back over in this direction. You got 1 trips here to make sure if they do drop down elevator and come out and go your stairs or ladder, your trips can pick that up easily, as well as if they hit top mid, your trips can pick that up as well, because they'll be watching both. But the 2 people on point, they're here to help too. You're going to have 1 right here on the box just watching your top mid, just in case somebody gets through, and then 1 white box watching the stairs and ladder push up just in case they get through. But you're basically going to want this ideal setup right here. Lighthouse will just be back here, making sure nobody comes back here and flanks. Now let's say you're red, you're in defense, so we're going to put blue back here. The ideal setup for red to keep blue in the spawn trap if you get 4 dead, in my opinion, I would say 1 top trips. You're going to want 1 over here going rogue in lockers, bottom granny's cliff, just like in this area right here. You're gonna want one heli side right here, and then the other guy could just be wherever. He could be helping out wherever he needs to help out. So it could be like sidewalk here or something, but make sure you have all 3 lanes covered. They can only go 3 places when they come out of spawn. You can go left to cliff, they could go up mid, and they could go right to heli. So as long as you have all 3 of those areas covered, making sure nobody gets through, calming with your team, make sure y'all have everything down, you should be good. Keep them in the spawn trap, get them lives down, don't let them get to the point. But just keep in mind, they usually don't do this, but you could go down here and go up the ladder on heli and then flank. Honestly, I've never encountered anybody doing this in a rank game. I actually do it, but haven't encountered anybody. But that's pretty much the ideal setups for blue and red team on protocol and hacienda. Let's go on to tip number 2, and we're going to jump into control vault. We're going to be going over some spawns, how to block spawns, how to make them spawn where you want them to, controlling spawns and knowing where they spawn, all of that good stuff, guys. All right, so we're going to use vault control here as an example since we did protocol and hacienda already. So we're going to do offense and defense. Let's go ahead and start with blue on the offense. I already went over the ideal setups for the first 2 maps. I'm not going to do it for this map, just going to go over spawns for this map. So the blue team knows red team's over here, red team knows blue team is over here. Now vault is a pretty easy map to control. There's not a lot of lanes and places you can go, but let's go ahead and start with blue here. Let's say blue gets a 4 wipe on red. They want to put them in the spawn trap, keep them in that spawn trap, don't let them out. So we're gonna have this set up here. Let's say they got the whole map blocked off, covering every lane. They will keep spawning back in this area right here. The red team will. Of course, it is control. Whatever side you spawn on is the side you're gonna spawn on all game. The spawns don't flip, they don't spawn out. The only way they will spawn out is if the whole blue team pushes up and gets a 4 dead and are blocking all of the red spawns. So that will make them spawn out closer to the point, which you do not want that to happen. So you do not want to push too much into their spawn because that is bad. You just want to keep them in that spawn trap, knowing where they're coming from, keeping them away from point, getting them lives down. So they're going to be spawning back here if the blue team has all mid control right here. But if the blue team decides to push up art a little bit on this side, that means they're blocking art side. So they won't get this spawn. They'll get these spawns right back in here. Just like so, if art wasn't blocked and the other side was blocked, just like this, then they will get art spawns. So I've went over this a few times on my YouTube, but basically in control, whatever side you're blocking, they're going to be spawning the opposite side of. Just like on the other side here, if you're the blue team and the red team spawn trapping you, let's say the red team is all pushed up palace side right here, right? They got a full 4 wipe on blue. They're all pushed up palace side, but now blue's going to be spawning on this side since red pushed up on this side, right? So let me give you guys a little sauce quick tip here. A great setup for the red team. If you're on defense, you're going to want an AR up here on cat. You're going to want somebody right here at the stairs. You're going to want somebody top palace, and you're going to want somebody right around in this area as well. This right here will make them continuously spawn back pull, and there's only 2 places they can go. They can go outer right here, which cat, they will just beam him off spawn. And right here, he's got help as well. He can help him if he needs to. So they're just going to continue getting these spawns. They can only go over here, or they can wrap back and go this way. But that's what these 2 people are here for. And you can even come over here to help mid, just like so. So just knowing where you're blocking will tell you where the enemy is spawning, guys. But just like so, if the red team is pushed up too far, then the blue team will spawn up out of their spawn because the red team is blocking the spawns. So just like on the other side, let's say the red team doesn't push up too much, doesn't get too aggressive, but they're playing smart, right? They're keeping them right here in this spawn area. They're blocking pull. They're up top palace, blocking palace. They're right here. There's 2 of them mid. There's only 1 spawn point can happen right here, and that is back right in this area. And they have everything covered from going to palace, from going mid, from going around pull. They have all 3 lanes covered from coming out of spawn. So it's just basically breaking it down more simpler for you guys. Just keep in mind there's only 3 areas to go, and you got 4 people on the other team to watch only 3 areas. So you can have 1 person in each area, and that last 4th person, he could just be running around helping which area he needs to help. Or if he needs to switch out and get that area when his teammate dies, that can be good as well. Then the teammate can come off spawn, come up, and then help the team. But that's basically explaining some spawns right there. I have a lot more explaining on spawns on my channel. If you guys want to check it out, feel free. It would mean the world to me, guys. But let's go into number 3, the last tip here, what not to do in control. So we did hacienda vault protocol. Let's go ahead and just go right back into hacienda here on control. So what not to do in control. Let's say you're the red team here, right? Let's say you're spawn trapping. You're like, oh, okay, we're getting these lives down. We're doing good. We're spawn trapping. We got blue in a blender. All of a sudden, all 4 blue hit out Lambo. They get this guy. They break through. They're going to spawn him out. They're all going to push up. Red team's going to come back, focus that. They got out of spawn right here. Then boom, blue team's going to take out red right here. But this little fella right here is going to stay back here and try to spawn trap a little bit, right? He's going to stay back here and wait. He doesn't even realize the whole team's pushed up and they're capping. I see a lot of this in any rank guys, diamond, crimson, iridescent. I've seen this so many times where the person will just stay in spawn and just play for kills and not even worry about the other enemy getting the point and just giving them the free win. Now in control, spawn trapping is good, yes, but there's to a certain point where you don't want to do it and you need to play smart and go for the win. You don't want to spawn trap all the time. You got to be aware of your situations. You got to be aware of what is going on in the game. You can't just go straight push up in their spawn, sit in their spawn all game and just wait for them to come out of spawn and getting picks. Yeah, you might be 7-1, but they got the win on the round. And same thing for the blue team. I see a lot of this on this map specifically, and I've actually won control games because of this, where one guy, maybe even two, they'll come back here on this head glitch and on this head glitch and try to keep us in this spawn trap while not even helping their teammates get point. And they might be spawn trapping two people, maybe even one person, and they have two people roaming the map right here. And I've seen this a lot where the teams are just spawn trapping each other, going for kills, and they're not even going for the point, defending the point, playing for the objective or anything. Now I know control, there are lives, but there's a time limit as well. And if you're just going for kills, you're going to lose control 9 times out of 10. Yes, you can win it by lives, but most of the time you need to focus on playing smart, playing the objective, and playing with your team. So in control, what not to do not spawn trap all the time. Do not focus on spawn trapping. There are situations where you can spawn trap and keep them in that spawn so they do not get out and get to the point and you can get their lives down, but you do not want to spawn trap all the time because you can lose the game for your team easily if you're up spawn trapping and your team's back trying to cap point, but they're just getting killed while you're over here spawn trapping 1 or 2 people. I've seen it too many times, guys, too many times. Same with the defense. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I went over 3 tips for you guys: ideal setups, knowing spawns for control, and what not to do in control, basically. I hope this video helped you guys out tons. If it did, please hit that subscribe button, like and comment below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.